The issue is particularly sensitive given the court could reopen painful chapters involving former political and military actors, including supporters of former President Charles Taylor. Joining us from Liberia to expand the conversation is Shadrick Bloyue, who's a member of Charles Taylor's political party and Senior National Assistant Secretary General for Press, Propaganda and Publicity of the National Patriotic Party. A very good evening to you. Thank you so much for your time and welcome.
Thank you. Good evening, South Africa. Good evening, Africa. And this is the evening time in Liberia, Monrovia. So, good evening.
Thank you so much. Thanks for speaking to us this evening. Now, what was your immediate reaction to Human Rights Watch's latest findings and its assessment that Liberia now has real momentum towards establishing a crimes court?
Thank you. Firstly, Liberia, like all African countries, has had our own share of history. We had 14 years of civil crisis and losing over 250,000 lives to guns. And since the war subsided in 2003, Liberians have been asking themselves between retroactive justice and retributive justice, which one is important at this point. Then came this president. The issue of war crime code has been an old-age conversation dating back to Mother Salif. She didn't pass that into law. George Weah, he didn't pass that into law. Then the came to power. And in fact, the matter of fact, the campaign on this, the government campaign that upon their winning of these elections, they were going to establish a war and economic crime code. And then, here comes the code. The president has signed that into law. For me, as a Liberian, yes, I'm happy. I call it a day of justice for the dead and a day of justice for the 14 years of unnecessary unrest the country went through. But the question in Liberia is, who are those perpetrators? Because most of those real perpetrators are no more. You might have heard about Prince Johnson. Prince Johnson's dad a few years ago. He was one of the key of perpetrators. In fact, he headed the second largest group, that is the IMPFL, the second largest warring faction. Charles Taylor, who headed the MPFL, the largest warring faction, is now in the Hague, in prison. The lead rebel, the person who had a lead rebel, or Sekou Dabati Conte, is no longer alive. So many of those people, the Unimo Care faction, Roosevelt Johnson, the Unimo Care Roosevelt Johnson, the Unimo Care Halachi Dibi Koma, other than they are none dead. So the question now in Liberia is who the court is going to investigate.
Who are they going to investigate? Is that what you've asked? Okay, so as a member of Charles Taylor's political party, how do you view the prospect of a court investigating and prosecuting crimes committed during Liberia's civil wars? I mean, you've said that, you call it a day of justice, but Human Rights Watch says there's now renewed momentum. Do you genuinely believe Liberia is finally ready to prosecute those responsible? I mean, are you saying that there's no one at all to prosecute?
Yeah, so again, this government, I'm not a spokesperson for this government, but from what I've seen as a politician, yes, I think they are eager to prosecuting those responsible. But like I said to you, Liberians wanted to see Prince Johnson going to jail for the atrocities he committed. Liberians wanted to see Charles Taylor. Liberians wanted to see Sekou Conte. Liberia wanted to see Halachi Dibi Koma. They wanted to see Roosevelt Johnson. Those are people who committed serious crimes in this country. But they are no more. They are not around. Those who are around are those people who were used, those people who they took and gave arms to, are the ones here. So they are not the real perpetrators. They are not the ones who brought the crisis on the Liberian people. They were just fools. Some of them were in their young ages. So again, we are saying it's good, but for us as a political party from the National Patriotic Party standpoint, we say it's not timely. While the issue of justice, it was there meant for justice, but it's not timely because.
So are you saying that
new perpetrators are low?
Yeah. I mean, yes, more than 2 decades have indeed passed. Do you think, I mean, I hear what you're saying, but in the interim, do you think that justice can still be meaningful, especially when victims have waited for so long? Or do you think that Liberia simply waited far too long?
So this is also the argument in Monrovia. Many persons are saying, given the time that they are waiting for so long, some people have forgotten the past, they have moved on with their lives, they don't want to go back to the ugly past, they don't want to think about the ugly past, so the government shouldn't have gone this route. Others are saying, no, the government went this route because there were people who were killed, family are still mourning, and they need justice for those people who were killed. So this is the argument in Monrovia. Again, like I said to you, we believe that the establishment of the court, it brings justice, but it's not timely. It's why we believe as a party, because those key perpetrators are no more around. So the new question is, who are we going to investigate? Are we going to investigate those that get the arms to come and kill their brothers? Or are we going to investigate those who brought the crisis upon Liberians and are no more? Who are we going to investigate?
But, I mean, investigations still need to continue to uncover who it is to investigate, right? Do you believe this process can be pursued impartially without it becoming a tool, perhaps for settling political scores or targeting particular political groups?
So obviously this is meant to score political goals. Especially at this time, because mind you, one of the key persons who supported this government to come to power is Spring Johnson. Spring Johnson was one of the key persons that supported completely for this government. But then he was senator for the second largest county in Liberia. So he supported the government, he campaigned for this government. And then the government didn't establish a court when he was alive. So he died, and then the government came and established the court. So the question now is, who are you going to investigate? Because Prince Johnson was alive, Prince supported you, so because he supported you, you drag on, then he met his demise.
But so investigations need to be established to establish who to investigate. I mean, I know I keep repeating that, but what safeguards do you think would be necessary?
No, I am understanding your point. I agree with you.
Yes.
But again, like I said, many Liberians already knew and know those who brought the atrocities on Liberia. So you don't need to establish investigations to establish who brought them. It is a new fact. We have the TRC, the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. That commission was commissioned by Madam Ellen Johnson to get to the bottom of this. It was from that commission report that a recommendation emerged for the establishment of the War and Economic Crime Court. So it was that commission report. So during the hearing of that, the proceeding, there were many persons who came and testified and gave their part. They played the individual roles they played in the war. So Liberians already know them. We already know who brought the crisis upon Liberians. What we needed now was for them to pay for those crises.
Yes, accountability.
Against Liberia. Yes, accountability. It didn't happen until most of them died. Some are in jail.
So, but then going back to those who bear the pain, families who lost loved ones, suffered sexual violence, displacement, or other abuses, can a court, after all these years, genuinely provide that sense of justice and closure that many have been looking for decades?
And I said to you, I agree, because it's going to bring justice, and it's not timely, but it's going to bring justice to those who lost their relatives.
Yeah.
And perhaps it's going to settle it's going to settle issues, it's going to lay that to rest, and so we can move on as a country. So some are theory or suggesting that we have one memorial day for all those who lost their lives in the civil crisis to over 250,000 Liberians. Yeah. So, but mind, it's not just about the code is the two. It's the War and Economic Crimes Code. So the War Code has to do with perpetrator of the civil crisis, and the economic crimes has to do with those who have stolen the country money, the country wealth, and take it to another country or build properties across the world and in Liberia. So it's a two code into one. It's not just only the war crime, but it's also economic crimes. Yeah, and it's the first time in Liberia we're going to have economic crimes code. It's the first time.
Yeah, very well. Thank you so much for giving us your take and weighing in on this very important conversation. Shadrick Bloyue, who's a member of Charles Taylor's political party and Senior National Assistant Secretary General for Press, Propaganda and Publicity of the National Patriotic Party.